Hey everybody, I'm Kate Conroy.
And I'm Muniz of SobelCo.
And this is Other People's Business, which is the podcast from the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, which is the largest business association in the country. For more info on us, visit njbia.org. We release a new episode every other Wednesday, so be on the lookout. Shout out to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance. They provide home, auto, and workers' comp insurance, and they're the official sponsor of the show, so check them out if you need some insurance.
Definitely. Just a couple housekeeping matters before we get started. Today's episode can be viewed on any podcast network you like, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon's TuneIn, the whole thing. If you don't want to listen to a podcast, but you still want to see our smiling faces every other Wednesday, you can check us out on YouTube. NJBIA's YouTube account is youtube.com/NJBIA. If you are listening to this on a network that allows for ratings reviews like iTunes, we would totally appreciate the 5-star review. Helps us get discovered by more awesome listeners just like you. If you hate us, I've got a treat for you, because NJBIA is going to be producing a brand new podcast called Take on Trenton. It's going to be our government affairs team giving you updates on what's going on in Trenton that affects your business, and interviewing legislators. It's going to be great, and we're not going to be on it. So if you hate us, watch that instead.
Exactly.
Anyway, with us today from SobelCo, and I say SobelCo, you might remember 2 episodes ago we had Rebecca Fitzhugh on. We had so much fun with her, and more to the point, they had so much fun with us that they sent Brad Muniz here to talk to us today. So Brad, say hi, let the audience hear your voice.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for having me. I found out that Rebecca was here a couple times, a couple episodes ago, and this is like Michael from The Godfather, where you just get sucked in and you just can't get out.
Brad was telling us he watched everything from episode 1.
He's a fan.
That's
I
awesome.
can't even. Oh my gosh.
I recommended it to my family, too.
That's great.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Okay, so today's icebreaker is, what is your favorite way to vacation?
My favorite way to vacation is with my wife. Okay, I have to go on the record for saying that because I just have to win points.
Right,
okay,
obviously.
that's all this is about. And we like to travel and sightsee. I travel a bunch for business, and when I do, I usually play golf tied in with that if I can. And when I go away we were in Ireland last year, we were on a river cruise this past summer.
Nice.
And people say, did you play golf? Because you're in Europe, some good golf courses. I said, that's my wife's vacation. I don't want to take the time away, and we love to go sightsee, and we walk around a lot and see just the beautiful places around the world.
That's awesome. I've always wanted to do a river cruise.
I highly recommend that.
Yeah?
Unless they're members, I won't give out any names.
Right. Thank you.
But I strongly recommend it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, so how's a river cruise? I can't talk today. How's a river cruise different from a regular cruise?
Go ahead.
So the ship is much different in size.
Yeah.
You see the cruises that are out there now. They had the commercials on and the Super Bowl about how big these boats are. So the river cruise total people on the boat was, I think, 190 people on the boat. So it's a lot more intimate. And there's no pool. You can walk around up top. I walked around. I do a lot of walking myself, and I walked up on top of the boat 160 steps, around and around and around and around and around. And it's a lot more intimate with the people, as I said, and there's just relaxation. It's more about the sightseeing than it is about the experience on the boat.
Now that you mention it, I think I did one of those in Philadelphia. I don't remember. It was like Spirit of Philadelphia, something to that effect. I'm probably totally wrong, but it was definitely in Philadelphia. I remember doing it.
Was it like a day cruise?
Yeah, it wasn't like an overnight thing. It was like you get on a boat and drink kind of thing.
Right.
So that sounds like a bachelor party to me.
Yeah, it's something like that. It was in college.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, but the river cruises are nice because you can see land the whole time, which is important to me because I do not like to cruise where I can't see the place where I need to swim to if the boat goes down.
Fair enough.
Because I'm always thinking about when the boat's going to go down.
Sure.
That was one of my wife's fears.
Is it?
Yes, and she was nervous about the river cruise.
Yeah.
And it's narrower. Most of the river we were on, the Danube, was narrower than the Hudson. So as you said, you can see on both sides.
That's right.
And you go through all these locks, which, as a friend of mine said, after the first 1 or 2 is very interesting. But when you hit your 7th or 8th, it's like, okay, we're going up and down. We're going down now.
Yeah.
So
it's a legitimate concern. They said the Titanic wouldn't sink, and look what happened to them.
know.
So don't let anybody tell you you're wrong.
No, I don't actually. I fight with them. Are you all right there?
Yeah, no, I definitely moved, and then that caused the. If you're listening to this on iTunes, you didn't have like a spike in electricity or something. That's the table being weird.
Yeah. So I've always been a little bit afraid of the the water and boats and everything. And as I've gotten older and my ability to read the newspaper and the news and stuff has just fed that. And in fact, I actually also have a friend from high school whose parents died in the Costa Concordia. Do you remember that famous cruise ship that ran aground in Italy?
Right.
And the captain
Well,
went to
tipped
jail.
over.
Yes, her parents were on that ship. And they died.
So this is all feeding into
It
your
is all
fears.
feeding into it. Yeah, I don't cruise. I don't go on the water.
Do you
but
search out these stories?
I don't. But I also found I don't know, maybe somebody sent it to me or maybe I just saw a headline. There was like a tsunami out at sea once and it hit a cruise ship and they didn't know it was coming and it like tipped over and everybody had to be rescued and some people, it was awful. So I do not cruise. I don't go on the water.
Okay.
Wow.
Sorry. Anyway, Ben, what's your favorite way to vacation?
I don't know if I have a favorite way of vacationing. I've said on other episodes of this show that I have least favorite ways of vacationing. Like, I've been to Orlando so many times, like, I've gotten kind of bored of it. But I don't know. I generally speaking, let's just say, like, vacation days, I generally just like to take them by myself. You know, like, I like to take a day, have a quiet time to myself. If I go out to lunch or something, I want it to be a day where not everybody is off and, like, flooding the restaurant. Like, I kind of want to be the only one there, you know? Peaceful. That's what I like.
I forget what an introvert you are.
Yeah.
I forget. It's so
it's
funny
just
to
part
me.
of, you know, because like everything, like, okay, especially now with the kid, like every day is like, you know, blaring in your face kind of a day. Like when I can just have like a nice peaceful day to myself, that is, you know, that is living for me. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So when your daughter is 18 months, when
18
is
months.
she? When are you going to take her to Disney?
Oh my gosh, that's a whole
For
thing.
the introvert you are.
So it's gonna be this year because my brother is getting married in Disneyland. Because God forbid we go on vacation anywhere else. So yeah, my brother Michael, shout out to Michael, is getting married in October. So that's when we're gonna
Congratulations.
bring her. Yeah, we weren't gonna bring her, and then they wanted her to be the flower girl.
Oh,
so,
of course
yeah,
they did.
Good times.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
Wait, and you're going down to Disney World or
Disneyland. Is in
Disney in California? Okay,
Yeah.
because in October they have the Food and Wine Festival and it's crazy down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Fun.
Yeah. No. So peaceful. That's what I like.
Yeah.
How about you?
I love a good bus tour. I won't even lie. I'm like ready for the 4 o'clock special at the diner. I'm you know, the bus tours tend to be for the senior citizen set, and I fit right in. I love them. I like that, you know, I show up, it's bags out at 7, on the bus at 8, and, you know, you can take a nap here and there if you get a little tired because it's exhausting. But you see so much, and somebody else is just taking care of all the planning, all the meals, or not all, but 90% of the like everything is included, the tour, like the sightseeing part. My sister and I did a bus tour of Great Britain 4 years ago, 2013, and it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. And my sister, my mom, and my sister's boyfriend are doing a bus tour of Ireland in May. And I cannot wait. I'm really psyched.
You're doing the tour now?
Yes,
So 3 years ago, we were going to Hawaii. I know you're going to feel bad for me. I had to go to Hawaii for business.
Poor you.
Yeah, poor me. And we did the road to Hana, and it was a typical Jersey guy. I'm going to drive it. I can handle this. And my wife said, no, we're going to go on a bus. And I said, no, I'm going to do it. And she won the argument. And it was the best time I had because I got to sit on that bus looking all around.
Yes.
And then last summer we went to Ireland, and I said I always want to drive on the other side of the road. I want to try it.
It's terrifying.
She said no.
No.
And I said no. Can I just try it? No.
No.
And we did the bus tour, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I could play my games on my phone if I want to. I could look out the window.
Yeah. I was on your wife's side, and I lost that argument, and it was terrifying.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, we did Ireland, and it was terrifying.
So you're not going in May this time?
We are going in May.
You are?
Yeah, but we're doing the bus tour this time.
Right.
Yeah. Last time it was wrong side of the car, wrong side of the road. We clipped mirrors with a parked car in Limerick on that trip, and I swear to God, I almost lost my mind. I was so afraid we were gonna die or get. Oh my God, it was awful. Yeah, and the Ring of Kerry, like that is just terrifying. Like it's a sheer drop off. It's a cliff, and there's no guardrail, and you're driving, and coming at you are tour buses, and you think you're either going to get smushed up against the cliff or go down the other side of the cliff. It's awful.
Wow.
It's awful.
We used to actually have a coworker, shout out to Mike Corwin, whose first job was being the guy who drives the tour bus. And he was telling me like the first time he did it, he's driving around and he's pointing things out like, you know, this is Big Ben or whatever, you know. but he wasn't really like filling it in with too much extra stuff. He was just, doing the job, driving around, pointing to things. And like the people on the bus almost mutinied because like apparently you have to be talking like the whole time. You have to be like, all right, and this is the background of this, and this is the history of that. So like it's a big thing. One of those things you don't really think about.
Yeah. The bus tour that we did in Great Britain had two people. It had a guide, the driver, and it had the tour guide who sat in like the jump seat right next to the guy. And he had the microphone the whole time, and he'll be like, on your left, you'll notice that whatever. It was like listening to a game show host, actually.
Yeah. Is that what you appreciate about like
I did. I loved it. Yeah.
Cool.
It was great. All right. Enough about vacations, I guess.
Enough about vacations.
I'd rather stay there.
Brad, I've been assured that you do very different things from Rebecca at SobelCo, so tell us what you do.
Yes, but as you know, you had Rebecca on and you have me on this time, and we're a multidisciplinary firm.
Sure.
Rebecca handles the forensics type of aspects within the organization. I won't talk about that because you can go back to Rebecca's
It was a great episode.
presentation.
I learned so much.
So the only problem is I wish I was in here before Rebecca because she talks about the sexy kind of stuff, the fraud that everybody's into, the students want to go into because they think they're going to find fraud within an hour. That's with commercial breaks, and they think it's CSI. And I handle accounting and auditing and some tax aspects, but mainly accounting and auditing. And if you notice, there's never really been a movie about accounting and auditing.
No.
Ben Affleck was the accountant, but he was doing
Challenge
something
accepted.
different.
I'm going to think about that, but go ahead.
Yeah.
And,
I've been on the receiving end of that. It's not fun.
Okay.
For an accounting movie.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yes.
try to think about it. I'm sure somebody's done it.
Something, but and I also wanted to put one other little asterisk on that is successful.
Okay. Fine.
Okay,
Touche.
you could have anybody come up with any indie movie.
Yeah.
I was going to say Kirstie Alley played an accountant in Look Who's Talking.
Look Who's
That's not
Talking.
a movie.
So now if you and I watched that movie and I was the only loser in the audience that was laughing because
Yeah, because they were making accountant jokes.
the father was sitting there reading the Journal of Accountancy laughing, and I'm laughing, I'm pointing at her, I'm looking at my wife, I'm like, get it? And she's like, no. Well, yeah, she was an accountant and her parents were accountants. They
That's
did
right.
taxes.
That's right.
So I handle accounting and auditing aspects. Our primary clients are privately held businesses, and our goal is to help the clients strive to achieve their goals within the requirements of the accounting and auditing rules. What we find very often is that the clients want to do the right things, but they need the direction and the help on how to get to that goal. What we see and the type of clients that we deal with is you're dealing more with them personally than you are business-wise, because every decision and every comment that you make affects them directly personally. Even to the point where I had a client call me up one day and say, can I ask you a question? I said, yes. You sure I can ask you a question? I said, yes. You're not going to say anything? I said, no. Why? And they said, well, let's just say I get divorced. Can I talk to you about some topics? I said, absolutely. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that. And I mentioned something about the husband, and she said to me, well, I'm going to call him next and tell him. So I kind of laugh about it, but I knew that they were getting divorced before the husband. Now I'm sure he had some inkling. I don't think he like she told him. He's like, what?
I know.
But it was just that she had that faith in me to be able to call me and talk with me about it. I mean, and I've had clients offer me to use their cars, to take my girlfriend out.
Wow.
And I said, that's nice. I said, but I don't think my wife would appreciate that. And they said, yeah, no, this is not a wife car. This is a girlfriend car.
Oh my
And
Lord.
I said, I'm uncomfortable right now. I guess I'm not borrowing the car.
Yeah.
So we help clients handle the aspects as it relates to accounting and auditing matters, and help them achieve their goals. Best way to say is we consult with the clients as best possible to help them move forward.
Do you have a sweet spot in terms of how big the companies are, or are there any silos that they fall into, like pharmaceutical or manufacturing or?
Yeah, so the firm has a few different sweet spots. We happen to handle a lot of nonprofit organizations. We're very connected with the nonprofit community. We have a lot of clients down here in Trenton, and throughout the state in Newark. That's our largest practice niche. I don't involve myself with that. I happen to involve myself with financial services, being broker-dealers, money remitters in that industry. We do a lot of work with supermarkets, supermarket owners. So we're very familiar with Wakefern, since we are in New
ShopRite.
Jersey.
Sure.
Yeah, ShopRite.
Member.
Yes. I would be surprised if they weren't a member.
They're great.
Oh, yes.
Any business in New Jersey that's cool is a member of that.
Obviously.
And if you're not, then you need to get on that train.
100%.
I agree. I was president of the New Jersey Society of CPAs, and I'm very familiar with industry associations, and I think they're very important to the economy, to the business community as it relates to advocacy, providing support. I think that all organizations should be joining and supporting these organizations. So, so continuing on with SobelCo. Sobel and Company, however we're going to go.
How would you like to
How would
pronounce
you go
it?
with that?
Well, I watch because they can't see, but Sally's over there cringing as we're going to
Shout out to
continue on
Sally.
about this. And
Yes, we have another audience today.
right, and Mom's going to yell at me the whole way up. I know that. And a SobelCo is what I go
SobelCo.
by. I've been with the company for over 14 years, and I said to Vinny earlier, it's difficult after 14 years to say, and we're
Right.
SobelCo.
It's kind of like when the new year comes and you keep writing 2018 on the checks. Or
Yeah.
it's the same thing, you know.
Yes. And so supermarkets and then some manufacturing. If you can find a lot of manufacturing left here in New Jersey, that's probably the hardest thing, thanks to a lot of legislature. And of course, real estate.
Okay.
Or areas. No particular size. We've had clients, from smaller nonprofits to hundreds of $millions of revenue. It all depends on the makeup of the company and what their goals are. You'll find different industries, although companies might be in different industries, they operate the same because of the closely held way that they're operating.
Do you only do commercial, or do you do some personal returns as well? Or
I do personal returns also.
Okay.
A company our size, you'll find a lot of the people are also multidisciplined. I do know where to stay away from. I don't venture into Rebecca's area because the lawyers will just beat the heck out of me if I try and say, I'm an expert in this area. No, you're not. And there's some other areas where if you drill down further, like I don't handle certain nonprofits just because I don't have that expertise.
But you mentioned auditing, so there might be times when you would refer something to Rebecca because you notice something that looks maybe a little fishy or off.
You hope not,
You hope
especially
not.
in our clients.
Obviously.
Right.
No, your clients,
It was never
of
with
course.
our clients.
No, with your clients, of course.
No. But I got a call recently from somebody that our client referred him over to us, and it was very gray. We need you to prepare a financial statement for us. So that falls into my area.
Sure.
Because we want to sue somebody. Well, now that goes over to Rebecca's area.
Sure.
Can we come in and talk to you? So actually, Rebecca was in my office last week, and I said to her, I need you to be in this meeting just to hear, because I may be handing it off to you quickly. Because you don't want to sit there holding it too long.
Right.
So you will see, if Rebecca's or our forensic department is handling a matter, pretty much we can't be handling a matter, because for the most part, our clients, we have to be independent, and if they're advocating for the client, then we lose our independence.
Sure.
So.
Interesting. I was going to ask a question about the new tax law that happened at the end of not last year. It was the end of 2017, and that transition. Was it a relatively easy transition for you? I mean, I know I feel like a lot of people had questions about it, right? Or
So I wasn't gray until this year.
It's the best.
I made it through kids, but no, it was the tax law came in at the end of last year,
Yeah.
actually, and it came into this year. And I mean, the good thing is nobody still has a full handle on it. The IRS is still issuing. I won't bore you with the regulations, except I'll give a shout out to Ken Bagner in our tax department. The one of the areas that everybody's focusing on right now, you may have heard, is 199A. I'm not going to get into the great details of it, but it's how the income is picked up on your tax return, and how they muddied these waters is just very, very deep. And I do recommend reach out to your tax advisor. Don't try and take this on your own, especially if you're a small business owner. There are a lot of very qualified tax advisors. Reach out to them and get as much guidance as possible. And I fear this year a lot of people are going to go on extension because of this.
yeah.
Those that have never been on it. Right.
Do you think the tax system will ever be simple enough that it will go onto a postcard? I mean, that was the soundbite from last. Wasn't it? It was I thought it was
I've
last
never
year.
heard that. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. The argument is that it should be simple enough that you could just do your taxes on a postcard and mail it in.
I don't know. I could print anything on a postcard. I need to type really small or
I
something.
know, right?
Right. I think that it will be there one day. I don't think I'll be around to see it.
Aw.
Actually, yeah, unfortunately. And somebody said to me, "Whoa, that
Death and taxes, right?
that keeps money coming in." It's like, I don't need to make my money off the back of others. I don't
Yeah.
need their blood, but I'd love to see it change personally. I'm going against every accountant here, but there was at one time, I think California or somebody put out a trial balloon of a pre-filled out form. So you can get your tax form pre-filled out, because most of the population is there on the computer, should be able to be
Right.
filled out. And you get it, and you look at a sign of it, and there's a taxpayer advocacy group that was fighting it. Because there's a potential that there's something that you're not considering that will help you. And if you get your tax return pre-filled out, you're like, this is the best. I'm going to sign it and send it in.
Right.
Not thinking, okay, well, you didn't pick up charitable contributions, you didn't pick up some other items, because you just want to sign it, you look at that big number refund on the bottom and you send it in, well, you could have been a bigger number. So that's why they were fighting. It's unfortunate, because the people that get hurt the most by all of this tax stuff that's going on are the taxpayers.
Sure.
They really are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was gonna say for years I got my stuff done at I won't name the name, but like a major tax preparation company, because I don't know math and I don't know tax law. So I mean, like, of course you should go and get it done by somebody if you're not an expert.
Yeah.
It's like you say, you can get a bunch of extra stuff out of it.
I have friends who do their own taxes, and I'm just like, my mind is boggled. Like, why would you do that? This, like, you're not a surgeon, but I'm just going to perform surgery on myself.
Yeah.
Or like that just. I cannot imagine not going to a professional to just make sure that it's done properly, handled well. I don't know.
Especially like as you get older, your life gets a lot more complicated from
Yes!
a tax perspective. Like, when I was
you.
like 21, like it was just basically like I went to work and that was it.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Yeah, now there's like all sorts of different stuff, like you
Yeah.
get the kids and you get like different like green energy stuff that you do, and like it all comes in at different
Yeah,
angles.
we've all got like HSAs and FSAs and divorce
volunteer
and
work.
stuff happens. I can't imagine not taking it to a professional. It just, yeah.
I recommend it, even the larger houses. I'm not trying to compete with them. They serve a particular audience a lot of times, and we serve an audience. Sometimes they cross over, sometimes they don't. But there's enough taxpayers out there to be serviced by
Yeah.
the accountants and professionals that are available.
Do you think that because of the shutdown, there will be any delay or anything with the IRS this year?
No. They said that they were going to process returns. I'm sure there'll be some sort of effect of it, so I'll step back. Yes, there's going to be some sort of effect. I don't think it's going to be significant. They've already started processing returns. A lot of this is electronic. Most of the returns are electronically filed, I would probably say. I don't know the statistic. In our office, most of the returns are electronically filed. So there's nobody there taking it, processing it, unstapling it like they used to. And the refunds are being issued much quicker. What I'm surprised are the people that don't put their bank account on there. I know wire fraud and stuff like that people are concerned about. Rebecca and people could tell you about that. But you can get your refunds much quicker than if you do it. And as I said, it's electronic, so they don't need, except for the systems administrator, to be in the house. So.
Yeah, I love that. As soon as that became available, I was like, where can I give you my bank account? Can I just, I can fax it, I can email it, just let me help you have that, yeah.
The worst I will say for taxpayers to concern themselves with are identity theft. I literally just got an email on Saturday. A client found out his son went to apply for unemployment and found out he has a very Italian last name. I'm not picking on any groups. He has a very Italian last name, and it winds up, and I didn't mean to point that way, I'm sorry.
It's okay, yeah.
And it winds up there was somebody with a Spanish last name using his social security number. So it wasn't even like there was a near spelling. They were completely different names. The ethnic groups don't matter, but you could see that they were completely different people using his social security number. So now the son is going to have a lot of difficulty. He's talking about a 24-year-old person that's just starting his professional career and filing of tax returns.
Yeah.
And now he has to get a PIN every year to be able to file his tax return because somebody stole his Social
What does the
Security
PIN
number.
do?
It means when you electronically file your return, if you don't enter this PIN, they won't accept your tax return with that
Gotcha.
Social Security number.
Right.
If the PIN's in there, they match it up and accept it. So this person who is filing illegally will go next year to a provider or whoever. I don't think they're doing it on their own. Go to a provider and get it tax return prepared. They'll go to electronically file and it'll be kicked back.
Yeah.
Can you proactively get a PIN? Like, that sounds like just like I'd like to lock my stuff down as much as I can. I feel like, what is it, like an ounce of prevention, a pound of,
Yeah.
cure or whatever? Like,
I think that Europe is more advanced than us in some of these areas. I mean, look at credit cards. You go, you put your card in with the chip, and you enter the PIN. I don't have a PIN for my card, and I know now that everybody out there anybody that might be thinking about
are you
doing something
sure? Like,
illegal.
they write the PIN on the back, like when they send it to you. That's not something you even have to ask for, right?
But you don't have to enter the PIN in when you're doing a transaction.
Gotcha.
Whereas in Europe, I see that a lot more. People entering PINs. And I got nervous. I'm in Europe. I'm like, I don't have a PIN. I don't know how to speak your language to say I don't have a PIN. I was in Portugal. El no pino. I don't know what to say.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So I'm really glad that I wasn't being silly. No pinyo. I don't know what it is.
I think it's like pretty universally understood when you stand in front of somebody and you're like, I'm a dumb American. I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no PIN, all right?
Love it. Oh, too funny. All right. I
Break?
can't think of any more questions. I feel like I wanted to ask something and I can't remember.
Well, we've always got the second part of the show if you think about it. I'm still thinking about the accounting thing, even though I came up with Look Who's Talking, so.
I know. Oh, I did have something. So you talked about a tax advisor. Is that the same as an accountant? Like, this is a dumb question. I don't know. Is
No,
it it's not.
no. A tax advisor or tax professional, somebody that has more expertise in the area of tax. Their accounting, and I talk to a lot of students. I'm very involved with William Patterson. I went to William Patterson, and I try and advise students. And the accounting industry is very good because there are a lot of jobs, and tax is just one aspect of it. You have a lot of people, and I do know accountants that you say to them a question about tax, and they're like, nope. Even one of our partners, Ron Matan, he handles our nonprofits, and he says flat out, I know nothing about tax. Now, nonprofits file a particular form, but he knows nothing about regular taxes. And I would be afraid to ask him. It'd be fun. I'd like to hear people ask Ron a question because I'd like to see the answers you get. And then they'd say, come over here, I'll talk with you afterwards. So.
Oh, interesting.
Unfortunately, those words are used very interchangeably. Fortunately and
Yeah.
unfortunately. Because it helps us in some ways, but otherwise people think, well, how come you don't know? If you don't know it, nobody knows it.
Yeah.
But there are people that specialize in it.
Okay, interesting. All right, so I think we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to play Awful or Awesome. Rock on. And we're back, and it is now time to play the game Awful or Awesome. I'm going to name 3 things, and you have to decide quickly if they're awful or awesome, and be prepared to defend your answers. Are we ready?
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right, first up, golf.
Oh, it's awesome.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love golf.
I guess. I mean,
No, it's great. Like if the weather's nice and you're out there and you're playing, and I don't like to keep score because it's bad for my ego.
sure.
But I do love competing against myself and trying to figure out, if I can shorten up my my strokes and the long game and the short. I don't know. I love it. In fact, pitch and putt is one of my favorite things to do on like a Saturday afternoon. Just like play a quick.
Is pitch and putt like mini golf?
Wow. I forget that some people don't know what pitch and putt is.
I guess it sounds like I'm pitching the ball and I'm putting. That
Yeah,
sounds like mini golf.
so a pitch and putt course is when there's no more than about 100 yards between the tee box and the pin. The pin is where the hole is. And then you use your pitching wedge and your short game, what do you call them, irons, it's just practicing your short game.
Okay.
90% of golf is your short game.
So it's mini golf without the clown face and the
Yes.
pinwheel and all that. Yeah.
I would know.
And it's trying to approach the green and get on it.
Right,
Sure.
exactly.
Right.
Okay.
I like it for the same reason. I'm playing against myself. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get better.
Yeah.
And I used to like to ski, but being an accountant, this is our busiest time of the year. And potentially getting hurt skiing, I decided I couldn't do that, and I just enjoy being outside. Now, when I said that, not getting hurt, I actually gave myself 50 stitches in the head playing golf.
Oh, that's not good.
That wasn't awesome.
Oh my God, that's not awesome.
Yeah, that was awful. I hit a tree and it came back and got me right here.
Oh my gosh.
You hit a tree? You hit hit the ball and the ball hit the tree?
I was trying to show somebody how to hook it around the tree, and I saw white.
You're trying to show off,
white
you know?
and white. Boom, boom, boom. Yep.
Wow.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Did you knock yourself out?
No, I just went back and went
So you were
like this.
conscious of the whole thing?
Yeah, I put my hand down and just saw the blood. And
That would have to bleed a lot. Yeah.
My friend was laughing at me, and I just said to him, "It's not funny, I'm bleeding." And he said, "Oh," and gave me a towel, dirty towel. And I put it on.
Here's a
By
dirty
saying that,
towel for
it's
you.
kind of a little funny. You know?
Oh, it's hilarious. I just look like a dope. Fortunately, there was a plastic surgeon on staff at the time. I had a plastic
great.
surgery for a golf accident. 20 stitches inside, 30 outside. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Right here, right above the eye. Yeah. So that wasn't awesome. That was
Jeez.
awful. But
All right. So why do you hate golf?
I don't hate it.
Golf is
It's-
great.
Yeah, I guess it's fine. You know, I'm a little annoyed with golf in general right now. My brother got Chloe a golf set for Christmas, and it's become her latest obsession. Like, she plays golf like 6 times a day. And so, like, you know, the first time somebody wakes you up at 5 o'clock in the morning with a golf club and is like, golf. You know, it's just like, really? Actually, when that happened, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Chloe comes up to me, wakes me up. She's holding a golf club, and she's like, golf. And I'm like, I thought I was being really slick. I was going to go, oh, you know, we can't play golf without a golf ball. I'm sorry. Without missing a beat, she holds up the other hand. She's got a golf ball in her hand. She's like, yeah, I thought of that. So, I'm getting a lot of work on my short game, right?
Yeah.
Just all day.
So you play golf around the house?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's got like a little thing. It's like a hole that you set up somewhere, and then you putt into the thing. Yeah. She doesn't totally get that that's the objective.
Right.
She just likes tapping the ball around the house, you know. But,
That's funny.
yeah.
scholarships.
Yeah, sure.
I was thinking of the Williams sisters. Like, start her young. She's going to know the game well, and you can, make some money off
If
that.
nothing else, maybe we don't have to wait that long. Maybe I'll record some of it, put it on YouTube, make some of that internet money, you know?
Yeah, that sweet, sweet internet money.
Exactly.
Love it. All right, next up is etiquette.
Etiquette is good, right?
Etiquette is good,
awesome.
yes. Yeah, so we were thinking of like the office etiquette, like microwaving fish in the office
okay.
microwave, and
Okay.
not cleaning up after yourself. But yeah, I think in general we would all agree etiquette is probably good.
Right.
Etiquette's great.
Yeah.
I had a former boss, and I won't name names because this is going to be so gross, but he used to take his socks off and clip his toenails at his desk.
No.
I know, right? That's just gross.
He was a boss. He wasn't like an intern who didn't know better.
Exactly, yeah. He was the head of communications many years ago. Shout out if you know who you are. You're listening, yeah.
Would he be horrified that you just outed him? I mean,
Probably
you didn't-
not. He'd probably think it was really funny, but I'm still not going to give the name.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The only difficult thing about etiquette is people that are the judges of etiquette. Like you're saying that because you're finding it kind of repulsive and just in nature.
Yeah.
But it's the people that go around and tell you how you're breaking etiquette, especially with
All right, fine.
especially how they're dressing. Or about how people show up. It's those that. Who's the etiquette woman years ago?
Miss Manners?
Yeah,
No.
one that-
Susan. No, Emily Post.
Emily Post.
Right?
Yeah. So
Emily Post.
That's what I'll refer.
Sally
to.
is nodding. I know. I got it right.
That's
I've
what
never
I'll
heard of Emily Post. Is
Yeah, she's written. Well, not she. She was a pseudonym, I think. But there have been books written by Emily Post on manners and etiquette, and how quickly to send a thank you note, and how to address a wedding invitation, and things like that.
So what's
Yeah.
your biggest office pet peeve then?
My biggest office pet peeve. My gosh, I'm not sure that I have. Well, yeah,
Because we're so great around here.
I
you
know.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens very often, but the fish in the microwave thing, I just feel like it's reprehensible. A monster does that. Like, you're just a monster if that's what you do. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The most, it's more personal because I don't like when people just comment on everything you do.
Like, give me an example.
I don't care if what you're wearing to walking down the hallway type of thing, and they just feel that they have to not joke about it. Maybe that's the way they think they are, but they feel that they have to tell you how you should be doing things. Yeah.
Super helpful, right?
Super
They're
helpful.
just so helpful.
Right.
Thanks for letting me know that I could be doing that better.
So of course
that's
I know
awful.
how I should dress in the office, but
Right.
like I've gone to play golf, and I go to run to the office to pick something up, and people look at you in shorts. Now have the day off, and I'm running to the office just to pick something up. I don't think if a client saw me in the office, they would say, "Oh my gosh, what kind of place do you have here?" If anything, they would say, "Look, here's an individual who had something going on, and he still came in."
Yeah.
But they'll be the type of, you're not supposed to be wearing that in the office. It's like, really? Thanks. Didn't know that. I've only, been working for 30 years now, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
I had no idea.
The shorts is where I have to be. I thought I was
know.
working in Pacific Sun. So,
I mean, it's only 90 degrees outside.
right?
God.
If I'm walking around and I hold a door for somebody and I don't get like any acknowledgement of that, it'll drive me a little nuts.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You just hit it.
Yeah.
You just hit my
Yeah.
biggest pet peeve.
Or the nod, like the
Yes.
hey, how's it going nod. If it's
I
not
give you the hey, how's it going nod and I don't get anything back, especially if you're still
dead
staring
to
at
me.
me.
You're dead to me.
Yeah. Like, I'm mad at you for the rest of the day. And that's not so much, like, nobody around the office
No,
does that.
but, like, in general, in life.
In general, like, in life, if you're walking down the sidewalk and, like, somebody's, and you're just like, because it's awkward,
we're
like walking up
people.
to somebody, you
We're-
just like wave hi or something, and nobody like gives it back to you.
That's right.
That's the worst.
We're all just
thing
people, man.
That people can do. We're all just people.
And people know in my office that's the one thing that does bother me tremendously. Just show me, I recognize that I'm human,
Right.
that I exist, that I'm not just this orb that's floating in the office, because you're human, I'm acknowledging you, and it's, I always say, guys have it easy, because it's called a guy nod. Hey, how's it
Yeah.
going?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Even if you have a tick, you could say, I'm just saying hello to everybody, And no, but I don't understand it. And I actually was in the kitchen one day, and I'm not a morning person. I'm actually opposite of a morning person. I'm miserable in the morning because I have so much going on in my head, and I don't want to be awake anyway. And I'm standing there waiting to do something, and two people are in the kitchen area and just completely walked by and ignored me. Completely walked by and ignored me. But
I couldn't even imagine that happening in the office.
No.
Like, if I'm walking by you and like I give you the head nod or something and I don't get anything back, yeah, I'm gonna be mad at you for the rest of the day. But I can't imagine anybody doing that here. Yeah.
Well, I
No.
walked out of the kitchen area, and I'm walking, and I happen to look at somebody else. And as I'm looking at that person, I'm still thinking about the issue, and I just said, "Can you?" Like, as I look at that person. Now, this person, it got back to me, thought that I was mad at them.
Right.
But I couldn't tell them that I was mad at somebody else because I didn't want to spread any other
course
bad
not.
feelings. So I had to let that person think I was mad at them.
Oh, that's awful. But
I'm
it
mad at
really
you now.
is. It reminds me of like the lowest form of namaste. Like, you know how namaste means the divine in me recognizes the divine in you. And this isn't even that. This is just like, I'm a human, you're a human, hey, how's it going? Like, it should just be so easy. And it's not.
Etiquette, awesome.
Etiquette
I
is
like that
awesome.
namaste. I'm going to mention that in the office. We just did meditation on Saturday.
Oh,
Have you
yeah?
ever done it before?
Yeah.
I heard you saying that you don't know if your mind can rest. And I didn't think so either. I loved it.
Yeah.
Can I just point that out? That was another little deep cut in our show. I'm so glad that you listen. I love it.
It's a great easygoing
Yeah.
podcast that just talks about light topic. type of
Yeah.
thing.
Love it.
Thank you.
Love it. All right, last one. All you can eat buffets.
Awesome.
I
Sure.
mean, objectively they
Yeah.
are, but I can never eat $20 worth of food, so I never get my money's worth.
I shout out to Gene Tom. He's our IT director here. Gene and I used to go to an all-you-can-eat Chinese food buffet in the Princeton area, and it's since then closed down. But we used to go like kind of often, and he would always kind of like jab me because like his parents own a Chinese food restaurant, and he would be like, "You're not getting your money's worth out of this," or like they're winning on the deal, and I'd be like, I'm just eating the things that I want to eat.
Right.
But like finally, I was like, fine. How do I get my money's worth? Like how do I cheat? Not cheat, but like how do I win in this
Yeah.
scenario? So apparently, you want like the carving stations. That's the way to go, and the stuff that's better for you. So like not the fruits and veggies, but like things of that nature. Like the better for you it is, the more you're probably winning on the deal.
Huh.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed that.
I'm a sweet and sour chicken and fried rice guy myself, so I'm definitely losing, but I love
Yeah.
it. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah. What do you think?
So I know that you are supposed to only give one answer, but I have to give two here.
Oh, we've had some people do that.
Yeah.
On the surface, I said, love it. 2 snaps in a Z formation type of thing. It's great. Now, for me personally, I can't enjoy it as much because I lost a lot of weight a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I know that's the one area that would really kill me.
Yeah.
So personally, I have to say, and not that I hate it, I still love it. I think they're great. Just gorge yourself on the food. It's the
Right.
American way.
Right, it is.
Show how much I can eat.
God.
But my problem is whenever I do buffets, any buffets, I go to the first place, the first tray, and I'm just boom piling all the food on.
Yeah.
Then I reach the end, I'm like, oh, I really like that
Yeah.
stuff.
Go back.
I know, but now that I don't want to be eating that much, I'm like, I can't just dump this dish back in, but that's what I
No.
really want to do. And I think about Emily Post etiquette. What am I supposed to do? I don't want to have the food on my plate at the table. So who
Yes.
said that you have the clean plate club or something?
Yeah, the clean plate club.
But then if I have that, then I'm too full. Now I
I
can't
know.
go back.
I hate wasting food, and I feel like all I do at a buffet is waste food.
Yep.
It's
I don't know.
bad.
You shouldn't like pile. So when you start to get to a point where things are going on top of other things, that's where I stop. Because you change your mind or you see something else you like. So I always try to make it reasonable. Like
Right.
I'll take less than I think I'm really going to eat. I'll put a different variety of stuff, but I always know I'm going back. The really crummy thing is, so like that one closed down, and there was one in my hometown that closed down, and now I just don't have like an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet near me, or really any food.
That's sad.
And that's sad. Yeah. If you run an all-you-can-eat buffet, especially a Chinese food one, right into OPB at njbia.org. Let me know where it is, and I'll be there.
You can take a road trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Record on location, right?
Oh my gosh.
Would love to interview you.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
On location. Incorporate the members that way.
Exactly.
I love it. Very cool.
We'll probably be like so annoying to everybody around us because we'll have like all the equipment set up. People will be like walking around it with their plates of food.
We probably would be annoying. Yeah. All right. I think that's the game.
That's the game.
Nice.
So we've got our segment where we ask people if you could give yourself one piece of advice, your younger self, what would it be?
Sure. Work smarter, not harder.
How do you work smarter and not
how?
harder?
Yes. Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm
how?
asking
Yes.
because you're giving advice.
No.
To
I have to
the
give the full
listener.
advice?
Yes.
No.
Exactly, that's the point, yeah.
Look into work, learn how to work harder, not smarter, not harder.
Yes, that's your
It's-
advice. Google it.
Right, exactly. Because I'm 53 now. I'm still trying to figure it out and figure out how to delegate better, how to find out what's important and to focus on. And it's not all about the hours. So I was brought up, my father had MS and he wanted to work but couldn't work. So I was brought, if you can breathe, you can work.
Ooh.
Type of thing. You know,
Yeah.
just keep working.
Sounds
And
like my dad.
My mother said to me one day, "You work too much." I'm like, "Well, you did this to me.
Yeah.
You told me to work. If, 2 jobs in college, type of thing." And it's not all about that. It's trying to find what keeps you happy. Focus on how you can achieve success on success has all different measures. Find how you can achieve success on what makes you happy. And again, working smarter, delegating, finding the best way to do things.
So I want to do a shout out to SobelCo because
SobelCo?
SobelCo. Sally just had a speaker. We had our executive women's group, and Casey Carpenter. No, it wasn't Casey. Yes. Thank you. Casey Hosel?
Go with a G.
Gosel. She did a presentation on a book that changed her life, which was called The One Thing. And the whole premise is every morning, all you have to do is figure out what is the one thing that will make every other thing in your life easier and do that thing.
Sounds simple, right?
It does. It sounds so simple. And I've been trying to put it into practice. I bought the book and I've been reading it and I've been trying to think, every morning, what is the one thing that I can do that's going to make everything else a little bit easier?
Give me an example of something that has made your life easier, like just so I can get an idea of like the kind of daily thing you can do.
Now I can't, of course, think of something. Well,
So is it like so granular down to like, all right, if I put the breakfast cereal in this
No, it's-
spot rather than this
no,
spot?
it's work related.
Oh.
So when I get to the office, I do my to-dos, right? And then I look at the list and I think, what is the most important thing on this list? Whereby if I do it will make everything else a little bit easier. So this morning it was, okay, so it's self-evaluation time, right? We all had to turn in our self-evals February 1st. And some of us did, I guess.
Some of us did, yeah.
I did. And so because I have supervised people this past year, I was getting them as well as I was sending them. And so this morning I was like, okay, it's nice and quiet. The one thing that I can do today to make the rest of the whole week probably easier is to spend like 30 minutes and just do my first draft of the person who sent it to me, my eval of them. And I did, and I was able to get it done in like 30, 45 minutes, and that was a load off my mind, and it made it kind of everything else today a little bit easier. So yeah, the smarter not harder thing, like rather than just look at my to-do list and start doing them in the order that I put them, figure out what's the most important thing on that list and do that first.
Yeah, and I started in college and high school into college, working in factories and warehouses, and it was just get the numbers out, churn things out. That's all it was. And
Right.
I wasn't trained, okay, focus, stop. Don't just jump into things. And that's where the smarter part is stop before you do stuff.
Yeah.
Create the list or just focus on what you think you need to get done.
Right.
And then how are you going to attack it. I wish that you focus almost like a little bit more of a military fashion of, okay, there's the end of it. It's either the war or the battle that you're trying to win. How are you going to get there? You don't just run in with the guns going,
That's
we're
right.
going to win. There's got to be a strategy to it. And that's where I wish that I learned to approach my day, week, month, year differently, and was trained that way throughout.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'd love to see colleges teach people that more.
Oh, God, yeah.
Amongst other things. It would be a great soft course, but try and get that into the curriculum.
Yeah, you're right. That'd be impossible almost.
I wouldn't have art history.
You can have college.
And we need history. And we absolutely need art history. Are you kidding?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I had a bad experience with art history.
Let's hear it. What was your bad experience?
Tell.
I'll give the end of the story. I was at the Philadelphia Museum, and I walked up to a painting, and I looked at my wife, and I said, I hate that picture. And she said, how could you have such a visceral feeling towards a picture that we've never seen? Picasso's Three Musicians. And she said, how do you know that? I said, well, when I was in college, I had to pick one of 3 pictures, go to the Guggenheim, I forget what it was, look at the picture. So I did that. I studied the picture. I got the postcard. I sat the postcard on my desk next to the typewriter at the time, and I typed up everything I thought about that picture, and I got a C. I mean, I gave everything I had in it out of it. Now, maybe I was that dumb, but and I'll accept that. But I was giving my emotions towards it, and there's no, that's not what we want. And so that's why
annoying.
I say, yeah, because my feeling, especially about art, is beauty's not
very
subjective. How can you tell me what I'm seeing is wrong? Am I not seeing the particular lines? Well, maybe I don't focus on that. Do I not know this is Picasso's blue period? All right, maybe you can grade me on that. But so that's why I have a tough time with the art.
When I was in college, I took an art history class, and the professors hated me. Like, there was 2 professors teaching the course, and I could do no right. You know, it was just like whatever I said was just like before I opened my mouth, it was wrong. And one day we took, I'll call it a field trip for lack of a better term, to the Philadelphia Museum of Art. And on this show, I've expressed how big of a movie fan I am. So first thing I do when I got there was tear ass up the stairs as fast as I could, like Rocky. And wow, there are a lot of stairs. Like,
yeah.
I was in better shape then than I am now. But even then, like, I got to the top and I'm wheezing, like, you know, like it knocks you out. So apparently somebody must try to do that every day. And the guards must not find it like, you know, like it never gets old. Cause like the whole day, everybody's like, here's our guy today. So my professors thought that was the funniest thing. Like all day, they're like, this guy, look at it. So after that, I could do no wrong. Like I aced every single thing. Like for the rest of the year.
That's so random.
I know, right? And all it took was making an idiot out of myself at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. That being said, bucket list item, so whatever, you know?
And the statues there at the bottom of the stairs, right?
You know, at the time, I didn't see it because they had moved it. Like, you know, I was expecting it to be where it was kind of in the movie. Yeah. I did see it later. We went back a few years later, and it's like kind of around the corner.
Around the corner,
it's weird.
that's where I saw it.
It's weird that it's there now.
Why is it weird?
I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's not where it should be. I don't know.
Where would you want it to be?
At the bottom of the stairs, ready to run up.
Okay, sure, yeah.
No, but
right?
I'm sure that
he's up there like this.
I know.
So if he's running up.
I'm sure from their perspective, they're like, it's probably not really art.
Well,
but
that's
from
true
my
too.
Perspective, you know,
that's
like,
true too. It's not really art, I guess.
Hey, Sylvester Stallone, you know, you could argue was a work of art in the '80s by himself.
Plus Rocky, you know, you gotta respect Rocky.
He's based on a Jersey boxer, right?
Chuck, right?
Chuck Webner,
yeah,
the Bayonne Bleeder.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
That was a good movie. Rocky was a great movie, but they also made a movie about the real. That was a very meta movie. I don't know if you saw that, but like, so it's the real life story of the guy who they based Rocky on, and then like, it kind of continues into like Rocky was made, and the biopic continues, so you get his perspective on being Rocky.
You're kidding?
Yeah, it was interesting.
I just put it onto my list on Netflix. So I'm allowed to say that. If not, I'm gonna bleep it out.
Yeah. No, we're not gonna bleep out Netflix. You said much worse on this show.
We're big fans. Yeah, we have.
No, it was a good movie.
I got a quick movie reference for you.
Sure.
Shawshank Redemption. There's one with an accounting reference.
Yeah, good call.
Good call. That was an excellent film too.
Yeah.
Not just a reference either. That was about an accountant and like.
Yeah, but we sat there, of course, like saying that's not how it works.
Right.
I don't care clear that this was the 40s. They didn't tax like that. Yeah.
All right. Anything coming up you guys want to promote?
We have
Keeping in mind that this will probably air in like mid-February or so.
Yeah.
mid-February. I know that in March that I handle a financial executive roundtable in the office where we invite business leaders and their financial executives to come and hear about different topics. This quarter in March, we're going to handle on economics. I think it's the 18th, 19th. I'm just going to keep rattling off numbers like the lottery here. The best way to find out, though, about our different programming that we have is on our website, SobelCoLLC.com. There's an events tab, and we have a lot of programs that we have, including the Financial Executive Roundtable, which I just mentioned, and also a lot of nonprofit programming to help the nonprofit community.
Nice.
We have a good amount of tax programming out there also, so check out our webpage. And you could also contact us at 973-994-9494.
See, and I was just going to ask you what the best way to get a hold of you guys was, so you answered that.
I love it.
I didn't hear you ask, and I knew you usually ask that, so I've just.
You gotta be
figured I'd
patient,
offer- I
you know?
know. I'm New Jersey.
I
I'm not
know.
This is what happens if you have a fan on the show, you know?
I know. I love it. This is the best.
Yeah.
I love having a fan on the show.
We should get more. OPB@njbia.org. If you're a fan, let us know.
Definitely, definitely. All right, I think that might be the show.
That's our show.
Man, I kind of hate to end it. I'm having such a good time.
Huh.
I know.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Well, yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. It has been a total pleasure to have you with us. Thank you to our listeners, especially the subscribers. We appreciate the support. Thanks to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance, the official sponsor of the show. They do home, auto, and workers' comp, so check them out. And finally, an official thank you to Brad Muniz from SobelCo for joining us. And SobelCo. And thank you for Sally coming to spend time with us, too. We appreciate it. All right. See you later.
Later.
Next time. Bye.